Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's a Friday here in North Carolina. It's muggy. It's cloudy. I think it's getting ready to rain. And we've got another HVAC service call we're going to. So I figured I would get you up pretty early and get you to come with me. And let's see what's going on with this thing. As far as what's going on with it, I really don't know. I don't know. I have not got any details on it. It's just basically I was sent to us as a no cooling call. It was a brand new customer, so I figured I'd bring you along and let's see what's going on with this thing. So I'm going to grab me some breakfast. I'm going to go ahead and head on out there. And as soon as I get there and talk to the customer, I will inform you on what's going on, and we'll get started. So I'll see you at the customer's house. Alright guys, I just talked to the customer. What she's saying is going on with the AC system is that the air is blowing, but it's blowing hot air. I went to the thermostat. Like I say, my process always go first, when I do a service call, the process I always do is always go to the thermostat. We verified the thermostat did have a display, so we know the thermostat's getting power. She said it's blowing air. I went to the vents, verified it was blowing air. So we know that the thermostat's got power. We know that the blower, the furnace has power, or air handler has power, so it's blowing air. But I did check it. It is blowing, it seems like lukewarm air. So it sounds like where we're going to get started at is the condensing unit. So let me get my tools together, and I will see you at the condensing unit. See you in a second. Alright guys, we're over here at the condensing unit. She has two units over here. She has one there, one here. This one here is the upstairs. This is the downstairs. That's the unit that's gone, that's not working. As you can see, we can hear the blower in here blowing, but we do not see. I always tell you, listen and look. The condenser motor is not running. We do not hear the compressor running. First thing I'm gonna do is put my hand here on the condenser motor. That thing is hot as a firecracker. Pretty much leads me in the right direction of what's going on. So in my process, in my way of thinking, the first thing is I'm going to check is your dual capacitor, because that's the most common, one of the most common problems for AC systems. So let's check that capacitor and see if it's bad. All right, let's get my. Let's go ahead, and this is your control panel for this type of unit, where all your, when you're looking for your electrical control panel, always look for where these wires come into. That'll lead you to where your service panel is, so you can find all your electrical components. This right here is where you check your freon. So we're going to take this off. As soon as I take this off, I'll get you back. Alright guys, I got the control panel off. I opened it up. And what do you know? We got another dead capacitor. How I know that, I can feel around here. Anytime, one of the easiest ways to find a capacitor bad is when you have a capacitor, a dual capacitor is not working. Usually your fan motor won't work, or your compressor won't come on, and when you go to it, it'll feel hot because it's trying to start up, but the capacitor won't give it that boost to help it start. When I opened this up, first thing I did is I looked, and the easiest way to find it if you don't have a meter is that top will be ovaled out. The top of that capacitor should usually be flat. It was ovaled out like a cone shape. That right there is the kicker to tell you that capacitor is bad. So I'm gonna go get a capacitor. I'm going to come back here. We will change this thing out, and let's see if it starts up. Alright, I got the capacitor. Let's go ahead and start changing this thing. Alright, this capacitor, let's see what size it is. It is a 30/5. And this is a, I want to show you this one definitely because you see the top of this capacitor? This capacitor should usually have words on top of it to tell you which wires go where. But this thing is rusted up and you can't really tell. And if you don't know how to read a wiring diagram, like if you're a homeowner trying to do this, one of the easiest ways to figure out is basically you always have a brown wire. I wouldn't know this 100% of the time, but 99% of the time, your brown wire for this is always going to be your fan wire. So basically we also got 30/5 capacitor. So, and you see on top of here, I don't know, hopefully you can see it, I've got hermetic, that's for your compressor, fan, and common. So basically your common is going to be your wire that hooks up to your contactor, and your compressor wire is going to be your yellow. But if you always want to know what wires go where, is your brown wire usually goes to your fan. You always find the wire that goes back to your contactor, that will always be your common. So if you have one that's rusted out or it's come apart and you can't really figure out, and let's say you don't have a wiring diagram, that's one of the easiest ways to do it. So let's put this capacitor in, let's start it up, and let's see if it starts. Alright, hopefully this motor and compressor isn't overheated. If it is overheated and we plug it back in and it doesn't come on, I don't know if you've watched any other videos I have. If that still doesn't come on, we're probably going to need to take a water hose, come around here, cool down this motor. We'll probably, if you can see the compressor down in here, we may have to cool down that compressor. But let's go ahead and just start it up and see if everything starts. Because she has had it running before I got here, where it's trying to run. And like I say, if you try to run with a bad capacitor, it could overheat your compressor and your outdoor fan. So let's see. Alright, nothing happened. Do you think it's still messed up? I think that thermostat has a delay. Always don't jump to conclusions. Especially with a package unit, you're taking power off of everything. So basically, you're removing power from the thermostat. So if you plug it back in and it doesn't start, your thermostat may be going through a delay. That's usually maybe about a 5-minute delay. To verify it, that everything's running, one of the easiest ways you can do that is go to your contactor. We know that starts your air conditioning. So if you take that, push it in, you can kind of bypass that thermostat and basically at least know that the condenser fan motor and the compressor comes on, and that the repair that we did with the capacitor actually did the job. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the thermostat to time out, kick on the air conditioning, and then we'll go ahead and start checking the Freon. All right, I waited for the thermostat to kick on. I just hooked up the gauges, so everything's running. Everything, you can see our fan running. We can go down here. We can hear our compressor running. Got the gauges hooked up. We're reading on our low side about 75, and our high side we're reading about 205. And right now it's probably, I would probably say about 75 degrees outside, so that Freon charge looks good. We're getting good hot air being blown out, so it's basically when this hot air that comes, that's the heat that is taking out of the inside inside of the home. So it tells me it's removing heat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to be quiet, but I want you guys to see what our temperature drop is. I've got a, like I say, when you get done with a service call and you think you're done, it's always smart to go check your temperature drop, because always verifying that basically make sure you fixed it. You think you fix it, and if you don't check your temperature drop to know exactly what your air conditioner is doing, you can have somebody call you back saying, hey, it's still not cooling. So what I'm going to do is when I walk back in, all I'm going to do is show you the thermostat, because that's going to read the temperature that's in the house. I'm going to show you the reading that I'm getting coming out of a vent, and like I say, the temperature that's supposed to be the differential between what's in the house, what's coming out of the vent, since it'll be easier to check it at the thermostat and go into the return and the ductwork. I really don't feel like crawling up under this house, so we'll go check it there. Our temperature drop that we should be getting is right around 18 degrees. So I'm going to let you guys tell me, is this thing cooling right? So I'll show you that in a second. All right, I just got back in the truck. Hope you could see everything, but I think the thermostat was reading 77 degrees, and the temperature coming out of my vent was 55 degrees. Tell me, is that thing working? If you've watched my videos before, the average temperature that you want coming out of it versus what's in the house coming out of the vents is 18 degrees. That one's running 22 degrees, so it's running a little bit better. It's cooler today, so it's probably going to get a little bit higher temperature drop. So another AC down, another AC fixed. I'm glad you guys rode with me, and I hope you learned something. So hopefully this was a quick one. I wish they were all this quick and this easy, but unfortunately not. But another capacitor. I don't think we've done one on a gas pack yet. So it's good to show you. I mean, because all these parts are in all different places, and if you're a homeowner that you have this same problem, if I did a regular condensing unit, you may not be able to find it. So I always try to show you where the control panels and everything are at and how to find that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me on this call, and I will see you on the next service call. Bye, guys.